I'm Sai and welcome back to my channel Sai Tech. In today's video, to compare the camera comparison between the Realme X7 Pro versus the Realme X7 Max device. So this is a question which was requested by a couple of subscribers as well. Can you please do the in-depth comparison? So that is what I'm trying to do, friends. I'll try to compare the ultra-wide shots, front camera shots, back camera shots, night mode shots, even the video stabilization as well. Everything I'll try to talk about this both phones in this entire video. So make sure to watch till end of the video without even skipping. In case if you're looking to buy one of the smartphone, this will be really interesting video to watch it. So first let's get started, friends. First thing is that which phone has got what type of specification, so you should know those things as well. So first let me try to quickly show you. The Realme X7 Pro has got the 64 megapixel back camera and quad camera setup which is present in the Realme X7 Pro smartphone, whereas the Realme X7 Max has got only triple camera setup, as you can see. So you'll be losing one sensor, which is a depth sensor. And front camera of the X7 Pro has got the 32 megapixel, whereas the front camera of the Realme X7 Max has got 16. So X7 Pro has 32 and X7 Max has 16 megapixel. So these are the physical differences between the both phones in terms of the hardware wise. So now let's export the photos. So which phones looks really good in terms of the camera? That is what I'm going to compare in this entire video. So this is a review which I'm trying to do after the recent software updates which I got in both phones. So that is what I thought of mentioning before actually continuing as well. So one thing is that after the recent software update, there are a couple of issues with the camera application which I'll try to talk about later. First, let's see the image quality, how it looks. So this is the first image which I have taken today itself, as you can see, friends. So is a Realme X7 Max. Let me slightly increase the brightness. So both phones are completely full with the full brightness mode. So now you'll be able to see which phone has got what kind of differences in terms of the brightness levels. As you can see, friends, when you try to zoom into the subject, I did find slightly more saturated on the Realme X7 Pro. So this is a Pro one and this is a Max one, as you can see. So Max one has a tendency of having the close to natural subject, natural colors. So that is what I did feel the difference when I'm trying to use these both phones. And this is a macro shot which are taken in both phones, as you can see. So macro camera lens is not that usable in both phones. It's kind of okay, I would say. It's kind of same level. And this is the next photo which are taken using the ultra wide lens. Yes, using the ultra wide. So same kind of wide angle lens is present in both phones, nothing much different. Let me slightly zoom into the subject. Let's see how much clarity we can actually get. So the clarity looks slightly more sometimes in the Realme X7 Pro. Yes, friends, sometimes in the X7 Pro, it looks kind of close to saturated sometimes, yes. So the Realme X7 Max has close to natural kind of colors. That is the one thing which I can observe at this moment. If you observe this kind of cover sheet as well, this looks kind of really white, yellow, not that yellow, but yellowish kind of color. This looks a little bit kind of more yellowish color. So this next camera shot which I taken in both phones at same time using the main camera sense, and this is with the 2x camera zoom, as you can see, 2x camera zoom. This is how the clarity looks in the 2x, and this is a 5x. So this is the clarity. So in terms of the zooming, I did observe one thing. The clarity looks slightly better in the Realme X7 Max when you try to zoom into the subject. As you can see, I'm trying to slightly zoom in. So it's not that in terms of the details I cannot find. If you try to observe this kind of leaves on the back side, slightly looks kind of more good on the X7 Max device. Little bit, but not much, just a little bit. So friends, in the camera difference, you cannot observe much between the both phones. Yes, that is what I did find out. There's nothing much difference you can actually observe between both phones. So there's a 10x zoom, you can actually do it in both phones, up to 10x zoom, and it looks really good. So in both phones, same kind of quality. And in the Realme X7 Max, there is one more extra benefit where you can zoom up to 20x. Yes, in the Realme X7 Max, you get up to 20x of zoom. So where in this phone, you do get only 10x of zoom. That's the one thing which I thought of just comparing between both phones. Next is the 64 megapixel comparisons. This is a 64 megapixel shot which are taken in both mobile phones. Let me try to quickly zoom into the subject slightly. As you can see, this is the clarity which looks when you try to zoom into the subject. As you can see, all the clarity of everything I'm trying to cover. And overall in terms of camera as well, friends, I did feel same. And it is the ultra stabilization video recording which I did in both phones. So both phones are recorded the same kind of video stabilization, and both phones are having the same kind of stabilization. There's nothing much more I can actually find it out. So both are having the same kind of stabilization only, Realme X7 Max and the X7 Pro. So both have same kind of stabilization while I'm trying to walk it as well. And this is another shot which I have taken to show you the colors and different range how it is between both phones. So both phones looks really great in terms of the stabilization. So both have their really good image processing as well. So next I'll try to show you what are the default settings which are available as well. Later on I'll try to discuss you. And is another shot which I taken. As you can see, both same kind of colors you can actually get in. As you can see, same kind of quality, nothing much difference is observed at this point. It looks pretty same, friends, without using any kind of Gcam. It actually looks good. And next, in the front camera in the Realme X7 Pro has got 32 megapixel camera, and in this Realme X7 Max 16 megapixel. But the 32 megapixel camera doesn't do much kind of justification in some scenarios, I would say. Let me try to show you exactly the image size, what is the size of this front camera image. So here you can actually observe the resolution as well, and what kind of resolution is present and what kind of size is present. So size is slightly double in the Realme X7 Pro than the Realme X7 Max. You can see the size is slightly double in terms of the front camera clarity. So this is how the clarity looks in between both phones. Overall, we will get that kind of really good skin tones as well. But colors in the Realme X7 Max is slightly close to the subject, as I said, slightly, yes. And this is the indoor night mode shot which are taken in both phones, indoor. So this is a normal shot, and next is a night mode. This is a night mode, normal, night mode. Even in the night mode as well, I did find out both phones are really close to each other, friends. This is another shot which I have taken, as you can see. Same thing, same kind of night mode performance as well, I did observe in both phones. Same kind of night mode. Even this is another night mode which I have taken using this kind of shot. As you can see, friends, perfectly alright in both phones, Realme X7 Pro and X7 Max. As you can see, the quality which I get, both, it's really good in terms of the quality. And next is a zooming capability. Let me try to zoom in. One more thing, the Realme X7 Pro is suffering from two things. One is sometimes I'm getting lag issues, and next is not focusing properly. Yes, when you're trying to focus a small subject, it's not focusing properly sometimes. I'll try to show you the proof. So here is the scenario, friends, as you can see, where the Realme X7 Max was able to focus properly with the one shot. I got the image correctly. But in the X7 Pro, sometimes you'll get this kind of distortion as well in terms of the details. So you need to focus really very well to get the really good colors, as you can see. Now it looks good. Both phones, same time, as you can see. And this is another front cam which I have taken under the studio lighting effect. So both are really great, friends, in terms of the back camera and front camera. Both are kind of really close to each other. This is the resolution of the 64 megapixel resolution, and the size I'm trying to show you exactly same image what it is, as you can see. And now let me try to show you exactly what is the problem happening in the camera. So if you try to take a shot using the 64 megapixel shot, let me try to show you. So this is a Realme X7 Pro. Let me try to take the shot right now. As you can see, it takes some time and it's kind of lag. As you can see, now it got activated. This much of time it's taking in the Realme X7 Pro device. Let me do the same thing in the X7 Max. As you can see, even the X7 Max also taking some time to, it's got sometimes it getting stuck. Let me try to take the normal shot as well. As you can see, I'm taking the normal shot. For the moving object, it takes some time, but one normal shot, it should not take much time. Let me try to do the same thing. As you can see, even for the stable shot as well, the Realme X7 Pro is taking really a lot of time. As you can see, stable shot, still it's taking very time. And Realme X7 Max, as you can see, it finished, Realme X7 Max. So this is a quick comparison which I thought of just comparing between both phones. And in terms of the quality and everything, both are having the same kind of 4K 60 FPS recording. Both phones can do same kind of recording as well. So there's nothing much difference you can actually observe. Let me try to open the stabilization. When you turn on the ultra stabilization in both phones, you do get this kind of option, which is a max stabilization and normal stabilization. Two options are present in both phones as well. There's nothing much difference. Let me try to pull down the settings and show you exactly. So the resolutions and the video resolution here, as you can see, friends, 4K, you can record 60 FPS and 30 FPS using the 4K. Same kind of settings present in both phones. So overall, in my opinion, which phone is the best in terms of the camera? I would say both are kind of slightly close to each other. Nothing much difference major you can observe at this moment. So maybe slightly better points for the Realme X7 Max, a little bit, but not much. In terms of the camera quality and everything, I did fit slightly close to the natural subject in the Realme X7 Max, and faster image processing as well. That is another thing which is present in this smartphone. So this is a quick comparison, friends, between both phones, and doesn't matter what phone you pick, the camera will be absolutely good. So no need to get confused a lot. there's not huge comparison between both phones. I did not see much kind of impact at all. Even in my testing as well, I did not see anything at all. So make sure to comment below guys what are your thoughts, and thank you for watching this video. I'll try to do the speed test comparison as well between both phones, which is speed in terms of the opening and closing application. So make sure to stay tuned for that video, and see you in the next video friends. Until then, stay tuned. Bye.